Hello and welcome to Real Reviews. My name is Jameson Rabbit, and today I am honored to be joined by a man who is merely a replicant of himself. His name is Mike Roth.
Yeah, they call me Pod.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not like part of the big C pods. I'm part of the pumpkin patch.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
I would call you the Great Pumpkin then.
Thank you.
That's just me. Mike, this week we've got a few movies to talk about on the marquee, and we have a really fun throwback to get into this week. So we're going to jump right into it with our joint review of the first movie we have on the marquee this week, and that is The Boy. The Boy, from director William Brent Bell, is a film starring Lauren Cohan. You know her from The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. She plays a lady named Greta, who is an American lady who goes to England to nanny for this young boy. An older family is looking for a nanny. They need to go on vacation desperately, they say.
Kind of a switch on the American culture where it seems like you're only getting the English nanny.
Right, exactly.
They get the American nannies.
and she comes to find out very quickly that the boy, Brom, that she thought she was going to watch is actually a doll, a porcelain-type doll. Nothing creepy about that.
Nothing.
And Brahms comes with a set of rules about what you have to do with him, a la the Gremlins. You can't feed him after midnight. Don't get him wet. Look him directly in the eye. Give him a kiss goodnight. There's a whole set of rules that comes along with him. And she doesn't know what to make of this. This doll, she kind of laughs it off until Brom starts to kind of move around. He likes to play games.
Oh, he
likes to get active.
He's a naughty little jinx.
Yeah, and so she brings. There's a guy named Malcolm, played by Rupert Evans, who is a delivery guy.
Yep.
Who delivers groceries and such, and he starts to kind of tell her what he knows, the mythology of Brahms, and how he was a kid who died 20 years ago, and there's a whole mythology about him, and it starts to get a little menacing. You know, he starts to move around and things start to happen. And I don't know, what'd you think of the movie?
All right.
Let's not spoil the end of
No,
this.
we're not going to. With all horror movies, there is a little twist. Well,
Right.
not all, but most of your good ones,
There's
there's a little
somewhere.
twist. I think when it got to the twist, I thought that brought the movie up a little bit. I thought it was really interesting, but by the time that came around, it was a little bit too late in the movie. The majority of the movie was slow and dull and not really scary. I mean, really, your main draw was getting Lauren Cohan in there from Walking Dead. I think a lot of people will go here just to see her in a movie. I guess dolls are creepy, but
we've seen creepy doll movies. This was not a creepy doll movie.
No, this wasn't creepy at all. It was what can I say? It was kind of boring, but at the end it brought it up, but not to the point where it was a good movie.
Yeah, I think there was nothing menacing about the majority of the movie. I mean, if you took out the music cues that were supposed to give you the terror, I'm watching it and it was almost laughable to watch her running around yelling, and then it would be like a quick close-up of Brahms' face, this doll's face, like,
Yeah.
And that's scary. There's a reveal in the third act that I thought made it more fun.
Yeah.
It was unexpected, and it made it creepy. It upped the creep factor, but like you say, it was too little too late at that point. I dug the third act. I thought it was kind of fun, but there were no stakes. The stakes were too low at that point that it made me kind of not care. Like, if you would have set this up a little better in the beginning, made it a little more terrifying, that reveal would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But it kind of just landed flat.
Maybe if they hinted it throughout the movie. I did like the delivery man. I thought he was a pretty good actor. I liked the part where he's like, "Oh, before I told you, this was polite talk. This is how I
Right.
Now let's talk about pub talk."
Let's get real.
I like that part, but I mean that was a small part. Most of it was just bland, very bland.
Yeah.
You don't want your horror movies bland.
And the whole mythology with Brahms was just kind of blah too. Like, it just felt like, okay, there's nothing exciting here. I'm watching it as he's moving. Every time she turns around, he's moved to a different spot. I'm like, why don't we just unplug the phone, tie him up? We're good. The doll's not moving anymore.
Yep.
But
We're just gonna have to wait for the reboot of Chucky, because I mean those didn't get bad at the end.
no, those Child's Play movies. Child's Play's good. Chucky not so good. But, what did you ultimately give The Boy?
I gave it a 2, and it would have been a lot lower if it wasn't for the twist. I like the twist, like you said. The third act is good, but it didn't save the movie.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Actually, 100%. I gave it 2 stars as well. wish there would have been a better setup to the punch at the end. But.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Yeah. I mean, really, I kind of wanted to like this a lot.
Yeah, that's what you get, though. The next movie you have, sir.
Another sad movie.
Well, what do you have?
Actually, it's a comedy called Dirty Grandpa, starring Robert De Niro as Dick Kelly and Zac Efron as his grandson, Jason Kelly. Dick Kelly, he suffers a loss. His wife dies over 40 years of marriage. And he sees his uptight grandson, Zac Efron, who's about to get married to a very yuppie class, hoity-toity family. And he's like, nah, I got to get my son, Jason, out to have one last fun fling.
Oh, boy.
Well, what you don't really know, because I haven't told you, is the whole movie is about Robert De Niro swearing.
He's dirty.
He is a dirty grandpa. He's always flirting with the girls. He has a wide knowledge of how to use swear words. He also has a six-pack. He's able to do chin-ups and stuff like that. And I think that's how they roped De Niro into this role. Yeah. They're like, we're going to show how athletic you are. People just don't know that you could still do chin-ups, that you could still carry Zac Efron on your shoulders. Oh, yeah. This is a huge draw for it. And meanwhile, you're going to have fun being able to swear and just be a dirty, dirty old man.
How'd that work for you?
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, really. You watch this if you want to up your skills in swearing and being able to throw profanities together.
But you know what? De Niro's done other movies like Goodfellas and Casino where, he uses them effectively.
And after seeing this movie, I thought the only plus to it was this was kind of written for De Niro, and I found out they were actually looking for also Jeff Bridges or Michael Douglas. They were also considered for it. Yeah, and you know what? Now that I know that, it's like, there was really nothing special about this movie. Yeah. They roped him in by saying it's going to be fun. We're going to be able to show the world
that... he seems to not say no anymore.
No.
He's like, what, do you want to make another Meet the Fockers? I'll do it.
See, I could see him doing this just because it would be fun to act it, but it's not fun to watch it. Yeah. I think some people will get some chuckles if you find swearing to be the thing that makes you giggle.
He's old and he said a curse word.
Pretty
man.
much. It's like Look Who's Talking To when that crazy baby said some really
silly
blue comedy. What can you say? Just to wrap up the plot, the grandpa takes his grandson to Florida. They meet up with a couple of girls. One you might recognize from Parks and Rec, Audrey Plaza.
Yeah, I like Aubrey Plaza a lot.
She played great, and I actually enjoyed her character because she plays a 21-year-old, but in real life she's like 30. Yeah. Hollywood never does that. But is this good enough to actually see? No, don't see it. I gave it a score of 1.5.
1.5 stars for Dirty Grandpa.
Yeah, if you love swearing and you just want to up your swear game because you're really bad at it, go ahead, watch this as a tutorial. But if you feel the need to avoid that, just use the internet.
Just use the internet. What it's there for. Excellent. The next movie we have on the marquee is a movie that I saw this week called The Fifth Wave. The Fifth Wave from director Jay Blakeson. Stars Chloe Grace Moretz, a girl that I really love watching. And it is another one of those teen movies where things go wrong, the world falls apart. There's a bunch of waves of this invasion that we have coming to Earth. The aliens come in, and the first wave is they release an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, that shuts down all electronics, all engines, everything. There is nothing. The second wave, we get natural disasters come rolling in. The third wave, the plague comes in. The bird flu comes in, wipes out millions of people on Earth. And the fourth wave, they move in now, and they are among us. You can't tell because they look just like humans. You have no idea who they are because they have replicated into us. And so what's the fifth wave? The fifth wave is this movie. The fifth wave is what's to come. And it's a movie where Chloe Grace Moretz, her family, they're all huddled in this village, basically. Everyone kind of in this camp. The army comes rolling into town and says, hey, we're going to take the kids. We're going to take them to the army base. We got to keep them safe. And this movie is so full of cliches. The first cliche we get is Chloe's taking care of her younger brother. As they're on the bus to leave, suddenly he goes, "Wait, I forgot my teddy bear. I can't leave without my teddy bear." I've never seen this happen before, so she gets off the bus. The bus takes off.
You're kidding me. She went back and got it?
She's stuck holding the teddy bear. Through the entire movie, she's got the teddy bear because I got to bring him his teddy bear, right? Her parents are played by Ron Livingston and Maggie Siff, and her parents are, all the adults are executed. And she's on the run. She's on the run in a world that she doesn't know. You have to take a lot of leaps of logic in this movie.
Yeah.
She knows without ever being told that they look like us, that the others, as they call them, look like us. Mm-hmm. We've seen other people be told. She was never told, but somehow she knows. Somehow they forgot to write that part into the movie. And everything in this movie is horribly telegraphed an hour before they show you. So it feels like I'm smarter than her. And I don't like movies. I don't like that technique where the audience knows something and then you have to watch your character fumble and bumble their way to figuring out what you already know.
Yeah.
Especially when it's poorly written. It's fine if it's a good thriller and it works, but it's just, there's nothing original about this movie. It falls into that same class of tired, old, young adult, disaster, invasion type movies. There's the others, as they're called. They have face huggers. If you put this lens on, you can see who the good and the bad are. Oh. And the aliens are face huggers, as we've seen in multiple other things before. Mm-hmm. So, like, that wasn't even original. And the movie in the second half basically becomes toy soldiers. We have Chloe, her character runs into this guy named Evan Walker, he's a bad boy out in the woods, and he takes care of her. Uh-huh. And she gets shot. He takes care of her, nurses her to health, and kind of teaches her the ways. And they're going to go fight. She's got to go get her brother back. Her brother's being taken care of by this other kid named Zombie. And they have formed this child army that the army has put them in.
Wow.
I forgot to even mention, Liev Schreiber, great actor, is the colonel in this movie. And he is kind of the guy in charge of turning this child army to go fight the others. They're setting these children out to go fight the aliens. Ridiculous. It is. He especially is way better than this movie. Mm-hmm. This is not something that he should be in.
So you're saying there's really nothing original about this movie at all?
Not a thing. Not one thing. And the weird thing is, for a disaster movie of this scale, it feels really small. It feels like everything is centered on them taking this one Air Force base in Ohio. And if we can take down this one Air Force base where this one colonel, played by Liev Schreiber, where all this stuff, if we can get in there, then we'll stop the invasion. The invasion is this is supposedly worldwide, but it feels like it's happening in one town, and that's all we're concerned about. Nothing. There's one brief mention of the first invasion, and then after that, it's all about, well, if we could just get this one person, and it all feels so contrived, and I enjoy a lot of the people in this. I really enjoy Chloe Grace Moretz, but her career has taken a really odd trajectory. When she was young, I really liked her in movies like Hick and Kick-Ass and Hugo, and a lot of really great, interesting roles. And then now she's done this. She did that movie where she died last year, or 2 years ago. She has Neighbors 2 coming out this summer. It feels like, wait, you had a lot of really interesting roles that you were taking. Now it feels like as you hit 18, you're like, I'll just do whatever. It doesn't matter.
The thing with Neighbors 2, I really didn't care for the first one that much. It didn't really trip my trigger. But I just saw the preview recently, and she actually makes me want to see
her
this
and
movie.
Kiersey Clemens, who we enjoy from Dope, make me want to see that movie. But still.
But with this preview for this one, I never wanted to see this movie. And I'm glad you took it. It was kind of a trade-off. I would take Dirty Grandpa, and you would take Fifth Wave. And I feel pretty thankful I didn't have to see this movie.
I was actually kind of disappointed because I thought it was going to be something better than it was. And it did turn out to be. They set it up where this is going to be a whole series now. This is going to be the next in the line, picking up the candle that the Hunger Games just set down. Like, no, this is the new franchise.
No, but there's 2 other franchises that are exactly like this that are doing it better.
I do not see a 6th wave coming.
No.
That's just what I'm saying.
What does the box office say? Do you know?
Not good.
Not good.
Not good. And, I mean, especially when I went to go see it, there were more people seeing Norm of the North this week. In its second week.
That's
than
terrible.
there were to see this.
That's
the fifth
terrible.
wave. That's not a good thing. Liev Schreiber, what are you doing, man? I mean, you were in 2 great movies this past year, and then we get this. This is no good. So ultimately, I gave it 1.5 stars.
Wow.
Yeah, 1.5 stars. It
Wow.
was weak. I mean, the stars kind of came out of. There's some cool effects during the initial disasters and stuff.
Yeah.
But that too was like, I've seen this in better movies.
Yeah, that's where I got.
I've seen waves crash over cities.
But even in bad films, sometimes it's more interesting. Like when we seen San Andreas.
Right.
That wasn't a great movie, but I really liked it because
it was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
But it's no fun if it's
if it's just bad and bad.
Yeah.
Definitely. So unfortunately, 3 no recommendations this week from us.
Wow.
3 movies that we can't tell you to go see at the box office.
Actually, I got 3 movies that
Ooh.
I think people should see.
Let's talk about that with our Real Reviews movie throwback this week. We have, playing off of the 5th wave of kind of the aliens have come, they look like us, they are us. Our throwback this week is the entire idea of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah. And I realize that this has have been used by many other things, but there are 3 specific movies that are called Body Snatchers. 93's Body Snatchers, and then we have 56 and 78's Invasion of the Body Snatchers, all based off of Jack Finney's book, The Body Snatchers, back in 1955.
Yeah. And so, starting with the 56 version, starring Kevin McCarthy, and I really enjoy that. That's the only one. That's the first one. I'm sorry, not the only. That's the first one that I saw.
Yeah.
That's the one that I'm most familiar with coming into this. I really enjoy it. That one too feels kind of really small. It feels like it's happening on about 3 streets in this town, to about 10 people. But I like the feel of it. I like the dynamic. When you compare it to the 78, it feels very quaint. But I really love Kevin McCarthy in this movie.
But that was the whole, I think, gem of this movie is it started off small in a small town, so it feels like it was sleepy,
USA.
and it grows into something huge. And that's the whole Body Snatcher. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Body Snatchers, it's not a happy ending. It is something that spreads. And the 56 version, the director, Don Finney, he always kind of said, yes, you can't escape. This is about communism. Even though the writer, Jack Finney, said, no, it's not. It's about, just these guys. It's creepy. And then 78, they changed that around where the background is supposed to be about consumerism. Well, it's not really. If you watch this movie, it's great on all hands, but I don't really see the political connection.
No, I think it's just a great creepy movie. And the 78 version, I think, is just phenomenal. It is so good. And I think a big part of it is it feels very much like the gritty 70s. It has the feel of gritty 1970s cinema, San Francisco, and that cast of, Donald Sutherland, Leonard Nimoy, a very young Jeff Goldblum. You have Veronica Cartwright, Brooke Adams.
You brought back Kevin McCarthy.
Kevin McCarthy comes back in a kind of a cameo role.
Which I just loved, because you could picture him actually running out of the 56 and then keep on running until he's in the city, and then boom, he hits the taxi cab driver and he's like, ah!
It's a lot of fun. It's Donald Sutherland is just spectacular in this. What's going on? Anyways, Donald Sutherland is spectacular in this, and I love a young Donald Sutherland. I remember just from watching this, there was something about him. He had this weird charisma to him.
Yeah.
The crazy looks he would give.
I loved how, oh my gosh, Philip Kaufman, how he directed it. He sounded like he was very on board with how he wanted his actors to perceive each other, and at the end, which I won't tell you, but he told 2 actors 2 different things, and told them just to get together and then act this part and act this part, and they didn't know how the other person was going to react. So you got that full emotion of surprise, or I really dug how this was directed. I love the actors in this. Out of all 3 Body Snatchers, it is my favorite of the Body Snatchers. Now, I love 56. I really do. Matter of fact, my here's a little thing about me. You might not have known my first crush was Carolyn Jones.
Ooh.
Yeah, and she happens to be in this movie. So, I mean, I love the 56 version also.
All right. Talk about 93, though, because we kind of mentioned it, but what's going on with 93 Body Snatchers?
Well, 93, they rebooted it again. This time it happens on a military base, and this guy comes in to test the water because it's supposedly really polluted. It stars Meg Tilly as Carol Malone, Terry Kinney as Steve Malone. You also have Gabrielle Anwar, who plays the daughter. This is actually a really good movie. The only thing I don't like about it is the narration. It's narrated from this teenage girl who happens to be the main star of this movie, and it comes out quite Michael Bay-ish. She says some very odd things, sentences where you're like, that just doesn't make sense, but you have this tone to it to make me feel like there's some emotion I'm supposed to have. Luckily, she doesn't narrate most of the movie. It's just the beginning of the movie, and then after that, it just becomes a great, fun action flick. It's third best, but still, I think people should give it a try. It's actually...
It's a fun story, though.
It is.
To be done 3 times, and I think done 3 times well. I actually think the effects on the 78 one are still really effective.
Oh, that dog still creeps me out.
The dog with the face is insane. I like that. I think it's a testament to what an interesting idea it is that you can do it over the course of so many decades, every 20 years basically.
Yeah.
Do it, and it's not like, well, this is the good one, that's the bad one. I think they're all very effective. I think it's a fun idea.
And since we are like just a generation of reboot, I'm expecting Body Snatchers to come out again.
We tried to get one with the 5th wave.
Yeah.
Then they bailed on the attempt.
They're going to have to just say, no, we're going to fully steal all the material again.
Yeah.
And
I'd be for it because it's a fun story. And
it is.
With today's technology, I think it could be really cool.
Yeah.
Bring Donald Sutherland back for that one too. Get him in there, man.
Have him the guy who runs out and hits a taxi.
Why
and
not?
Goes, they're pod people.
Love Donald Sutherland. So good.
Oh, and I love the voice of them when they did it in '68 when they're pointing and they're just. Love it.
Man, one of the great endings in movies too.
Yeah.
One of the great final shots. Of
I
a
like
movie.
it when a movie doesn't end well for us.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, hey, not everything is a happy ending, is it?
Because that didn't work out like that. Spoiler alert. Anyways, that is our Real Reviews movie throwback. Go check out any and all of these Invasion of the Body Snatchers movies. There's a beautiful Blu-ray of the 78 version.
Yep.
Go check them
the
all
only
out.
one that's difficult to find is the 93 version.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yeah.
The newest one is the hardest one to find.
Yeah, but
that's how it works.
It's on third on the run, so
guess.
what do you expect?
Finally, before we go, we have our coming soon, what is coming out the weekend of February 5th. We have 2 movies coming out that week. The first one we have is Hail Caesar, the newest movie from the Coen brothers.
Looking forward to that one a lot.
Yes, starring George Clooney, starring a whole host, Josh Brolin, Tilda Swinton, a bunch. I mean, and like any Coen brothers movie, they bring a big ensemble cast of people, and it's based on factual characters from early Hollywood, but the story is fictional, and I love some Coen brothers writing.
The preview, should get an award. That preview is awesome. I downloaded 2 of the songs. There's 3 songs that feature in that preview. I already downloaded 2 of them. I love them. Yeah. It just sucks me in. It really is.
They're great. The Coen brothers are great. Outside of a couple of their movies, like Lady Killers, I'm not a big fan of. I'm a huge fan of everything they do, though.
Yeah, but you hated Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
No! That is a top 3 Coen brothers movie. Don't put that in my mouth. That is right up near the top. The second movie we have coming out February 5th is based on a novel. And it is called Pride and Prejudice. And Zombies.
Nice!
Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot the kicker from the same series as your Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yeah.
Vampire Killer, whatever he did to him.
And then the other one with the sea monsters. I totally forget what.
But this is your Pride and Prejudice set in that time. It is a period piece. And zombies show up because zombies show up in everything right now. It is the time of the zombies.
It's a mixture of culture, and then they throw in something that's totally pop terrible, and it should be fun. I doubt it's going to win any awards.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
What do you think of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer real quick? Vampire Hunter, whatever he did.
You know what? It's not a good movie. I can't... present it to people and say, wow, this is smart and funny. But it's fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I bought it on Blu-ray.
Yeah?
I bought it on 3D Blu-ray.
Holy cow!
Which is extremely cheap, and I've watched it quite a few times.
Really?
I don't know why. I like it.
It's just one of those.
One of those things.
It hit your wheelhouse.
It's so weird. It's just so unusual that you would make an icon like Abraham Lincoln, and in the background, before he becomes president, he was killing hordes of vampires. That is just crazy.
I like the idea of it.
The whole, he takes the axe and he's blowing through trees. It's so absurd.
Yep.
And I liked it.
Very good.
Yeah.
I thought some of the effects were kind of wonky, though. Like the train scene.
Yeah.
I thought some of the fire effects were real wonky.
I had never pictured this as a big budget movie. It was just absurdity, and for some reason it worked for me.
Awesome. So that is what we have on our Coming Soon for February 5th. Before we leave you, we want to thank our sponsor, Marcus Theaters, the beautiful Palace in Sun Prairie here. Thank you for sponsoring our show. We do appreciate it. We recommend, if you want to see any of these movies, even if you want to go see Dirty Grandpa, make sure you see it at the Palace. Mike says don't see it at all.
Yeah, go see Star Wars. It's
go see Star Wars, right?
Yeah, they haven't made their money yet.
Yeah, go check out the Palace. We appreciate that. If you want to find more from us, you can do so. Go on to Facebook and find us, Real Reviews TV. We'll get you there. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at Real Reviews TV. Do all that. We're posting all kinds of things on there and links to other things. Upcoming, we're going to be doing an Oscar show, making our predictions and giving our thoughts on who we wish would have been nominated or won. We have all that coming up, and you can chime in on either of those places. We're going to put a little poll up, and you can chime in on what you think would come out of that.
Quick,
yes, sir.
What are we reviewing next week?
Next week, we are going to be talking about, 50 Shades of Black.
Oh.
Yeah. We also have The Finest Hours for next week's show.
All right.
We also have Kung Fu Panda 3, Chop Chop.
You know what? I haven't seen the second one.
Ooh, well, you have to see it or you'll be lost. I'm sure.
Oh, darn
It's like any of those. You must see them all. And also we have, what else? There was a third one.
Jane Gets Your Gun.
Jane Got a Gun from director Gavin O'Connor. And, yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like our theater is going to have it. Maybe I'll do some traveling. I don't know.
Yeah, make some calls.
Yeah.
See what happens. But you can find all that if you want to listen to us. Maybe you don't like looking at these faces. I don't know why you would, but if you want to listen to us, you can listen to us on 103.5 The Sun. Check us out on Fridays at 6 p.m.
Yep.
I believe would get you there. You can find that. You can find us on the YouTube. Search Real Reviews KSUN, or find all of our back catalog by going to ksun.tv. We have 94 episodes, I believe, on there. If
That
you
is
want to see us
crazy.
talking about movies, we are coming up on 100 episodes,
So
Michael.
if you have an extended weekend freed up,
to watch
and it's commercial free, so
to watch nearly 50 hours of us jabbering on about movies.
I can't believe we've done this for 50 hours.
It feels like more to me.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
Yes, but that's all we have for you this week. Until next week, when we talk about all those movies we just mentioned. My name is Jameson.
I'm Mike Roth.
Thanks for watching.